Hello, everyone. Welcome. So, for the people who are tuning in, can you just let us know where you guys from? Thank you so much for being here today into this edition of the Creator Sessions in the HQ. As you know, these sessions are here to inspire students, creators worldwide, and we pretty much would like to connect their inner minds and process with featuring top artists and creators in the immersive experience industry. Every month, as you know, we host a live conversation with a creator into our industry on our YouTube, Twitch channels. Thank you so much for your help and contribution, and thank you so much from the people from Mexico. Hello, Ari. New York, Canada, Germany. Wow. I like how we're becoming a very global community. Yes, we'll be recording this session. So if you don't get to see all of the session, it will be recorded. Poland. So thank you so much for being here today. It's an honor to present you to our next creator, which is Boldtron. So Boltron is the artistic name of two brothers. For those who didn't know, I didn't know that too, but they're two brothers, Xavier and Daniel Cardona from Barcelona. And they were specializing a lot in 3D, CGI, VR, but then they made a huge switch into AI, and their obsession into AI had led them to develop projects like no other. You're gonna see a little bit more about their projects. And they're part also from a platform that we're going to talk about, which is KREA.AI. This innovative platform connects artists and creatives with advanced AI tools to enhance artistic creation and develop unique projects. So thank you so much from the people tuning in from Argentina, France, Canada. Welcome, Javier from Boltron. Welcome so much. Thank you so much for being here today. Let me just
Hello,
introduce you to
hello,
our
hello.
community. Hey, how are you?
How are you doing? Thanks for this introduction. I'm happy to see many people there, just in the audience. I say hi to everyone from everywhere. Which is super nice. And yeah, super excited for being invited by you, Josue, to talk here, and also for inviting me to be present in your festival. Also, which is a super nice chance to expand the current idea of how we
We're
AI.
Mexico. We're gonna
Excited,
meet
super
off
excited.
Mexico. So if you guys are tuning in and and you're gonna be in August in Mexico, let me just write
Yes,
you on the chat where to look for more of the information.
yes. Thank you for your.
But off it's going to be soon. So if you happen to be in Mexico, please come and join us. Boltron is gonna be live and
Yes, yes,
present.
yes. It's been sometimes I talk enough festival, as you know, probably 6 or 7 times in other places, but this is the first time that I'm focusing AI. So everything that I've done, it's okay, but this new chapter is way powerful than everything that we've done before. I'm so happy to expand these new pipelines of work to the audience. So thank you.
Yeah. So the first question, as you know, the first thing first, like where you guys start this journey about making an air, and how everything, how do you make this switch? I mean, like for how long have you been into, like I know your
Yes,
work since you were doing, early days 3D, but how was this kind of like switch into AI?
yes. I know some people that did start. I know in 2015 or something like this, but I did really begin in 2019. I remember so clearly when it happened. It was with Google and Runway ML. They drop an interface, a super friendly user interface, and I did some experiments. Indeed, I put a link here where I can show what I did. I'm going to share the screen. Can you see it?
Yes, we can say it.
Yeah, and yeah. So I did these experiments. I remember were in objects based in my 3D work. I do remember it so well, and I was also experimenting with other alive creatures and stuff like that. So at this point, I wasn't sure what I was doing, and I also remember it was super tedious to work this kind of stuff because I had no information, and what I was just experimenting was super different from what I was doing at that moment. I also remember that I stopped working with this, and I now I put another link. And I don't know if you've seen. And in 2022, I
Yes.
came back I came back with these experiments through a friend, Adria Gil, and another one, Sebi. They're closer friends. They told me about how these tools that I was using at that time evolved a bit more. And I did post these Gundam robotish heads blended with architecture and stuff like that. And I was super happy experiencing, all these experiments that they are super early stage of from what we know as AI. It was GAN. I remember Vicky GAN that I was what I was doing in the beginning, and also this thing. But somehow I don't know. This didn't impact so much with what I was doing at that moment. Okay, and I remember that these experiments were not so much time consuming for me because I had no control of what I was doing. Indeed, all you can see here is some sort of adaptation of my 3D renders transferred to a concept somehow. It was some renders that I transferred in this way to that kind of images. But and I remember also that after this, I I read on Reddit some sort of post from someone that he was working in a company, and this text was a bit evangelic or apocalyptic. I don't know. So it did impact on me what he was telling, and he wrote something like, "I've been working in this company for long, but I quit, and blah blah blah. This is gonna be changing everything, blah blah blah." And then he said, "The company is OpenAI." So what I did, I wrote them a letter, some sort of open letter, and I remember they replied me 3 weeks later. But I never showed them my portfolio. I just told them like, "Hey, I'm a guy from Barcelona. I know that you've been cooking a powerful model. I would like to try because back in time I did try this, I did try that, and you know what? They did give me access. They did grant me early access before they dropped DALI 2, and everything changed for me at that moment. So this is how I began.
Nice, nice, it's incredible. And one of the questions that I wanted to ask you is it's about how is this kind of like moment that happened into your life, as for example like a moment of failure that set up for you for later success. Like, is this kind of like breaking point into your career that say like, hey, this thing happened into my career and then I need to switch into make something different.
Yes. Most of the times, me and Daniel as Boltron, we've been switching to many medias. We've been doing from digital stuff to animation in many ways. Daniel is animator, my brother, former Boltron. And also, we've been switching to VR, to, I don't know, many medias. I come from painting. We did study in a classic art school, high studies. And during these years, it's been 25 years as freelance artist, literally living from our work. 25 years. I mean, that's a long journey. And we've been always switching to other medias because I do believe that we need to enrich our digital environment to arrive to new ideas. The process are always super empiric. In our case, we I got bored so fast from what a software can provide me because I try to be super crazy with everything that I can do, but I'm always like to apply, blend, grab this from this point to another thing. I like to blend. And 3D, it's been a many, many, many years doing 3D fulfilling mostly brands demands, like, okay, I would like to do a campaign, I would like to do this, to do that, I major brands. And this dynamic wasn't, I think, after all these years that me and my brother wanted to end. We wanted to come back to our original idea to do, let's call it, art or express ourselves with these new upgraded tools. So AI was a big disruption for us because everything was like having a lot of tools to explore with literally results that were not I don't know how to explain, were not like, when you do a render, you know what you're doing, you know the lights you're using, you know many things because you are specifying a lot what you need. When we began to do AI, it wasn't that type of result. You had not so much control of everything that you were doing. And this type of Pandora's box, using specifically this tool in an empiric way, was so much fun, you know. And we love to play a lot. We've been playing during these years with all these tools, and this magic happened for us. This was like literally a limitless fun tool to explore, and this is what happened. So I decided to gradually start canceling projects, for brands. And apparently I had time and money to survive, you know in that switching era. And this is what I did. And after that, what happened is that I did post a lot of experiments everywhere in Reddit, Twitter, and Instagram with another new alias. It wasn't Boltron, it was just another project called DALI 2 Test. Indeed, some people that discover lately in my account, they told me, it was your work. Yes, it was my work with another alias, because I was exploring, and 3D was a thing and AI was another thing, literally split from my artistic career, or how you call it. And after that, I did merge everything. What happened is that all my clients that wanted 3D from us, they didn't like AI. They felt that it was risky, it was unpolished, it wasn't interesting. So we decided to go forward, and we didn't mind about others' opinion at that moment. We were sure that this was a thing that we needed to explore more and more and more. And someday I received a message from a guy that's fascinated, or probably the way we connect with the AI tools, and he's asking me to meet. And this is Victor. Victor is the CEO from KREA. So he told me, hey, I had a project in hands with my colleague. We are building this project, and they told me to meet with Diego too. And since that moment, we started to build the user interface, how a creative can use a tool like this. And it's been 2 years already in the process, till we dropped last November the real-time tool and all the tools that we've been dropping till today. It's an evolutive tool, and my role in the company is just as a third party, doing the, let's call it, creative consulting, what I was doing at that moment, user experience, and building the community. Because what I do, as they tell me, is just I'm evangelizing the AI tools to this new realm with old, let's call, newbies or new users that they don't know how to get into the tools and apply to their current pipelines. And this is what I've been doing, and it's so much fun. It's my part time, and half of the time, me and Daniel are finally exploring AI focused in our artistic career for ourselves. That's it.
And recently, we have seen that you have been creating incredible creatures. And well,
Thank you.
I don't know if you can prepare that link for us to show you a little bit more about the one that I'm talking about. And sometimes
Yes.
people say like, oh, it's just about prompts, right? It's just like you have to write such like a short prompt, and then you have ready as magic the AI.
Yeah.
And I assume is like understanding the process of an artist is not just that, like and I will like I'm very interested about how is your design process to create such
Yes.
incredible AI work, because I'm pretty sure that is not straightforward. Like I just put this problem magically, I obtain these
No.
type of characters, and then I
No.
created them. Like I don't know if you can share with us in the screen, because I don't. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I can share. I can
Wait,
share this
uh,
the trigger, the first one that I share. I can show you now, and is this video. We did trigger some videos. Okay, can you see the Instagram? So
yes.
what we were doing at that moment were experiments. Let's call it super abstract in a way, like these ones, for example. And froggies, because I've been doing frogs a lot. And this one comes from specifically this one. I did these froggies. I did explore a lot the frogs because I love the frogs a lot. And I told my brother, hey, I need to animate these frogs. I need to animate these frogs. And what happened is that I put myself all the energy to try to animate all these frogs in a proper way. And this is what happened. So okay, it's like 1 minute, 1 minute and a half videos of 30 frogs that we were exploring a lot to work with anime diffusion and other tools. And I must say also, Josue, that 80%, probably 90% of this work is not prompt based. It's been I mean, more than a year and a half that I don't work with prompting. Prompting for me is an obsolete way to work, specifically with the current AI tools. There are other ways to work and acquire and apply new results. So I know, for example, this is March, is at the end of March. It's been not so long time ago, but as I say, in AI calendar, this is so long time ago, because we work on daily basis, a lot of hours. But this video was the trigger to develop all the tsunami of the images that we built after that. That's it.
It's incredible, like so actually I was driven by your creatures, and then I was saying like, oh, how this has been even because like some of your work, it doesn't seem like an AI, like it has so much consistency in all of the frames that
Yes.
it appears to be creatures from an alien world, and then you have the capability to do zoom ins and zoom outs and control the position of the
Yes.
camera
I must
and all
say,
of the environments as well.
yes, I must say also, this is a bit laggy, I know. Also, in Instagram or Twitter, I see everything a bit laggy because the compression. But we used to work at 60 frames per second, and 4K. So the quality of these pieces, to be honest, it's quite good. My brother did work a lot to obtain an output super good quality in the texturing and everything, and the movement of the creatures are real. Somehow this is confusing for the viewer, like, okay, I know this is not real, but sometimes some movements are super real somehow. How we did build all these things. We do use a lot of AI tools. I mean, most of the work, it's AI tools, but we blend a lot of AI tools, some repositories in config UI for animation, anime diffusion. We work different models, SEM models. We use LoRa's, which means we add an extra touch to the final result. We use scripts for upscaling. The previous image, what we use, the overall workflow, it's called image to video. So what we do is we build a lot of this image previously as the ones I showed before. And this is information that we provide to the tool to animate. But these images are processed by different AI tools also. We use Midjourney, we use DALI, and or now KREA, real-time KREA tools. So what we do is we build a lot to a final image to drive it into the Confi UI. That's stable diffusion at the end. But yeah, probably for obtaining a tiny clip, if we put everything in a row, it takes 30 45 minutes to a final result
Yeah,
per piece.
35 minutes to what?
To a tiny clip of 1 second or less, but only having the pipeline, That's
The
it.
pipeline, yeah, yeah, to create the pipeline. That's it. And then you start doing the scaling up to go
Yes,
into different sizes. That's
yes.
incredible.
And about the collection, I can show you if you want. Is like
Yes, yes.
we yeah we I started to do other clips, more, let's call it, driving to fantasy, like this one, for example, which I like. It wasn't real, but people love that so much, and I was like, hey, I would like to explore all these fantasy reality creatures. Indeed, I show you where this creature comes from. It's from this image that I did 1 year ago. You can see, I mean, this is just a random image I did, like creatures from the lake or something like this. And I did filter and build everything, and this is how it looked at the end. So I was happy to find, content like this. And after that, everything became escalated quickly. I did build more animation, and people was replying so much about my work. I was like, okay, nice. And then after that, we did build more creatures, totally from up. You see, well, to be honest, this was a real blast because we were so excited for what we built, and after that, we decided to join forces with Daily XYZ. Is a company. It's a family. Let's call it a family where they're focusing AI artists that they develop content blended with other medias, and they represent a lot of AI artists, big names, to be honest. And the exhibitions, they do calendars, and then you can explore the collections. And as you see, you have here Boltron, that it was in May 24. And what happened, we did a video explaining, the exhibition, who we are, why we did this, and why we decided to go to this collection. And what happened is that we did drop 1,000 creatures. You know, we did put them in auction for the NFT market, and it was a real blast because trying to sell 1,000 videos for a price. Um, the point here is that everything was so amazed by the quality of the creatures. We did build literally every creature for the collection, 100 special pieces and 900 pieces in families. So we did pre-sold 700 pieces before the auction. 700
Wow.
were already sold,
Wow.
and we
And
were so surprised.
you were mentioning that the process was the one that you were like mentioning before. Like it took you
Yes,
like 30 minutes for each creature to build the 700. So
yes,
that was
yes, yes, literally. And we didn't know what was going to happen, but people were so into it, and we sold out. you know and it was like, what the fuck. It was so nice, because people didn't know about us 1 week ago, before the drop, to be honest. It's true that Daily did a good campaign some weeks before, but most of the collectors, they were acquiring these pieces based on other collectors talking about this drop. So you can see the quality. I think that's pretty good. okay 60 frames per second each creature, the AI, and it was a real blast without precedent. And we got a new. I mean, we got many people who's interested to see what's going on with the new drops. This drop, it's within a collection called the Vault of Wonders, which the idea was like a cabinet of curiosities. The chapter one was self-centered in abyssal unseen, like all these creatures from the abyssal world. And you have, if you go to sub-series, you see families, and families you have from embryos you can have different families. You see, each family got their own distinguished language, visual language, and it's dreams and everything is like super. I don't know how to call it. It's like super organic somehow.
Yeah,
The way
yeah,
they move. Tell me.
but also tied to kind of like laws that happen into a real world, like
Yeah,
like just translating them into something that now we can make it possible with AI. Like I cannot imagine
yeah,
making such amount of creatures just with 3D. It would take us years and years and years and years of
yeah.
producing
These
them.
all iterations from nature, and yeah, and it was an amazing project. Not gonna lie, because we didn't know what was going to happen, and it happened. And we're so happy with this. It's the first chapter. Second chapter will be I don't know when, with another family or concept for this Vault of Wonder, this new cabinet of curiosities. And this is an evolutive project, and collectors and people who was focusing what we did build into the AI realm, they were so surprised. It was refreshing for them, which is so grateful for us.
Yeah.
I
So
remember when I saw the collection, Josue, we were like, "What? What is this?" I remember.
I mean, like, there will be some questions, of course, in the chat, but in terms of, so for people who are asking about the website, which website it
Yeah, is
is,
the
the
is daily
information.
is daily
It, it's
XYZ
exactly,
artist Boldtron. I drop you the link. Hold on in the chat
yeah,
here.
yeah. Put it in the chat, and
Also, in my Instagram, there's the link in the bio. If you can check.
exactly. And I think part of what I understand is about the process is that is for those people who think about AI to create just automatically and magically work just by prompting stuff. It's not about that. It's about like in your
No.
case, thinking about the concept, then imagining that world, then putting everything into a workflow that is taking you time to do it. Like
Yes.
the result, of
Yes.
course,
Yes. Yes.
is
And
not
this is a big misconcept, Josue. It's the biggest
exactly
misconcept for all these people that they didn't dive into AI. Indeed, uh, me and Danny, we've been teaching a lot of people. We've been doing a lot of workshops during these last 2 years. We did teach for over 1,000 people, professionals, like
yeah,
in universities, brands, agencies. We did take the time to show them how to apply properly to these tools.
yeah,
And most of them, some of them before beginning, they were like, "No, yeah, I know how to prompt, I know how to work." And when we finish the workshop, they're like totally brainwashed by these new guidelines of work. We were so surprised, like, "Oh wow, I just knew 20% of this potential." And what we like to expand is, we call it una nueva línea de pensamiento. It's a new line of thinking with these AI tools and its potential. And this is what people is not prepared yet, if they do believe that AI tools are for dummies. This is the thing,
right, right, right.
you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna take a pause of 1 minute
Yeah.
just to promote a bit more of the platform where we having this talk. I just gonna take 1 minute, I promise. So,
Yeah, no, 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 it's
those,
fine. Go ahead.
for those who are here to, and for those who are new here, so we're at the HQ. So the HQ, it's the only school for immersive designers, creative technologies, and touch designer. We have over 60 full touch designer creative technology video courses. We also have a private group with coaches and experts, and we also have these type of sessions, but we have some kind of like private sessions inside of a platform. There is over 120 custom built touch designer tools, project files, and templates, and we have a 7 day trial now and a 50%. I'm gonna put you the link in here, so you can take a look into the HQ. So the link is there, and thank you so much for being at the HQ. And so we're going to start with questions for Boltron. Please use the chat if you want to start shooting out some of their questions. I'm going to make two questions before we run into the questions from the audience. And one of the first one is it's about a how do you sorry what is your vision for AI art in short term and long term? And I'm pretty sure everyone has a
Well,
different. What is yours?
yes, I've been lucky enough to start next to some professionals within the AI industry. Let's call it Victor, for example. Victor is a young guy. He probably will connect later. He's a young guy that he did study all these things on his early stage. I mean, he's 20 something. He's so young, but he's been doing this for years. And the fact that he approached me to join KREA, we create a nice boundaries, to each other, because he was asking me a lot about my creative process and how to apply this creative process from a professional like me to this tool. And by other side, I was lucky enough to ask him a lot because I'm an ignorant. Literally, in this department, when I did begin, I didn't know anything. And reading about AI was so complex for me at that moment because I found papers, and all this stuff. Josue, it was a very niche thing in 2018, 2019. Um, but after that, I've been super lucky to meet other people, other creatives. People from the university in Barcelona approached me also through my AI work. They had a department developing stuff, and it's like, wow, I didn't feel myself an intrusive, in this environment. I was offering something that they were happy to look at, which made me feel super confident with what I was doing at that moment. Also, being granted by OpenAI was a big thing for me. I didn't expand this idea where I went, but I had this tool as a beta tester. They did grant me also for using more computing, and other stuff during these 2 years, which was amazing. I also, I was in touch with them, telling them this, that, where I do this, it happens. Also in Discord, they had a channel called Alpha OpenAI, where people in there, I met some people super interesting, and I was absorbing everything that I was looking at. My vision is that AI is not going to be as apocalyptic as people believe. Okay, because it's a paradigm shift. It's true that AI arrived like a tsunami, and you can grab it or you cannot grab it. You can ride the wave, or probably you cannot. It's not a must. But being aware of what tools can offer to trigger, in my case, more creativity, more efficiency, more whatever you want to call it, and helps you to evolve new results, new pipelines of work, is way more than welcome, in my humble opinion. And my career is based on effort and work, plenty of work. I also received a lot of criticism, like, "Oh, you're a lazy shit fucker because you are not working properly. AI is for lazy people." And it's like, okay, if it's for is if AI is for lazy people, why am I investing 15 hours per day, 16 hours per day on a fucking chair trying to obtain better and better results for the last months? Why you are telling me that this is for lazy people? There's a big contradiction with this, you know. It's true that I'm obsessed with all this world, but it's a bit I call it dopamine. It's so powerful for me. It triggers into me a lot of new ideas, new content, super refresh content. And if today AI ends, I don't care. I can come back to Paint. I can come back to 3D. I can come back to VR with an upgraded mindset, which is the best part of this story for me. So AI, I'm gonna say something strong. It's like drugs. Okay, you can take it, you can take them for your benefit, but use them properly. That's it.
Totally, totally. Thank you so much for.
Forward with this, you know, because I've been arguing a lot with people that doesn't understand what an AI tool is. You know,
Yeah,
and in my case, we did upgrade our content 5 times, and I think that's not the point that it's AI. It means AI helped us to evolve ideas. That's all, you know?
yeah.
And
And
that's all.
finally, my final question is about KREA. As you know, like
Yes.
if you want to give us, like I know you're part of this platform that is KREA.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure if you can give us a bit more of a, what's the difference between probably wrong way or
Yes.
other kind of like a AI tool that exists there, and what's the difference between like using
Yes.
this
Yes. Yes.
specific
Yes.
tool.
Yes. Crea, let's call it, it's like cloud service. Let's call it cloud service. And where you can use AI tools in many ways. And it's all cloud service. You know, you don't need to have a graphic card. You don't need to have I don't know, many things when you are, you know, inside this this AI environment. You need graphic cards for working. For Comfy, for example, I use a lot of this. I can show you, Josue, some stuff because I'm logged in. If I can share the screen, I show you. And a super short demo. For example, let's do, imagine that this is the strength. You have the strength here. You load the strength like nothing. You say, for example, a frog on top of a mushroom. Okay, what you do here is that you give an approximate idea of what a mushroom is. Okay, like super easy. Boom, you select, you click, you bring to front. This is a real-time editor, you see? And then you can draw, for example, an approximate idea of what a frog can be. For example, this. So what you do, you select the model and you start to switch this in real time. You see the frog starts to appear. And if you're happy with this result, you can click here in the variation. It means the seed, and starts to do the approximation of the idea you are providing. It can be super complex, the prompt, also the drawing, wherever you want. You can enhance, do a quick enhance, and you have here the quality. So you can go forward. You can use another models, like, for example, the HD model, you see. And you can also apply a background here, for example, a canvas background. You have photos and you say leaves. It applies the leaves and then it puts the leaves on the background. So you can apply a lot of things based on the image you are providing, for the image you are doing. If you go low down, you see it's super close to the and then you can move in real time the frog. You see, you can do a lot of things with this. You like this, okay, you have reset.
We have Vic from
So
KREA joining in the session. Sure. I'm just going to.
so
Hey, Vic.
Hello,
hey
Or
Victor, how you doing, my friend?
doing good. So happy to
Yeah.
see some frogs generated in real
Yes,
time.
yes, this is our signature.
This is our
Yeah.
signature pieces, yeah. Frogs. Like I feel like Chavi has copyright on frogs generated with AI right now.
Yes. So, Victor, I was telling how we met somehow minutes ago, and I would like you to give you el mando to talk
Yeah.
about CREA and what happens, and where are
Sure.
you
Yeah.
where are you based, where you operate, and where you come from, and everything to put everyone in context with the two.
Okay. So yeah, Xavi and I we met very randomly in Barcelona 2 years ago. He probably already told you about it. Um, from my end, I started working with AI in around 2017. Before that, my background was mostly creative. I had a music band, and I was doing all sorts of things around it, from producing music to also doing some photography or fucking around with, I don't know, like Photoshop and anything. Like I was doing, like it was like a little bit all over the place. Then at some point I decided to study audiovisual systems engineering. That it was a degree that is like essentially like they teach you how a microphone works on the inside, how to do audio processing and also image processing. And when we were doing image processing, I got introduced to AI for detecting things in images. And soon after, I realized that you could also generate images using this technology. And that's when I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how is it possible that there's like this neural network that is able to generate hyper realistic faces or hyper realistic cars or buildings? That was like the main thing at that time. And I got like I went like super deep into the rabbit hole. So I just like essentially started to read every paper. I started to do my own implementations, talking with professors, talking with people in Twitter, just doing a lot of creative things with this technology. Eventually, I ended up becoming like a researcher. I published papers in conferences like ICCB or NeurIPS in one of the workshops. Work with a few companies in the US, always trying to use AI as a creative medium. At the beginning, it was more about the technology itself, but then I realized that it it turned out like the way how you were able to do creative things with this technology, it was through Python, through coding. And it turns out that coding is not the best interface for when you are creating something, I don't know, like an image or even like the script of a movie. Like it's just like not a good interface. And some of the most creative people, they just don't know how to code. So there's like a huge barrier of access between creative people and this technology that can be used creatively. So that's when I started working in creative tools for this technology. So I started with Art Breather, that it was a company from a super good friend of mine that is here at Berkeley. I trained some models in there. I learned a lot. Then I started with a project that it was called Geniverse, that it was like this crazy map where you could put images and text and combine everything and create new images. It was like me not really knowing anything about UX or UI, trying to make something interactive. Uh, After that, we kind of got a little bit more serious. We got funding for the company, and that's how Diego, my co-founder, and I started working full time on this. And this was, by the way, while my co-founder Diego, he was studying at Cornell University in New York, and I also just got a fellowship from the King of Spain to study a master's in Cornell University. So it was that moment where I was like, oh shit, am I about to drop out from this crazy fellowship and from like this crazy university to work on this tool that nobody knows how to use? And yeah, that's exactly what I did. And since then we've been working on it full time. And essentially, KREA, it's all about two main things, and they are controllability and accessibility. In the end, AI as a creative medium, it's something that is new, even for the creatives that have 10 years of experience or 20 years of experience. It's like a new way of creating things. So making it accessible and making it easy to have like a first interaction with it is extremely important, especially right now. And second of all, it's like as I was saying, it's like a new way of doing things. So it requires of new kinds of interactions. It requires of new ways of controlling this thing, new knobs that you need to create and you need to find that are going to make the interaction with this technology way better. So that's what we are kind of exploring and enabling with our tools. We really want creatives to feel at home when they use our tools. We want them to to get like an intuitive interface that they can use to really easily and like really with full control of what they are doing to be able to do from images to videos, soon 3D, and in the future hopefully entire environments. Like that's kind of where we're going for, to allow folks to create almost like entire walls that they can navigate through these walls. And from taking a picture to taking a shot for a movie to taking a 3D render that then they want to use for something else. That's kind of the holy grail, and like the direction that we're working for.
And I must say, that's been a long journey since we met, Victor.
Yeah.
I think people believe that you can build an interface like this, and I've been in the process thanks to these guys. They did listen through my creativity, and it's been a lot of work since everything happened. This is what I always tell everyone. So, can you tell about this creative process and how we snack ideas, like you as programmers and my creativity somehow, how we did snack everything? Because I was super lost in the beginning, you know?
Yeah, so I think that we are strong. We are like super in favor of super fast processes, like an iteration over and over and over. It's like the same thing like when you are creating, I don't know, when you're like doing a painting. It's like you do a sketch, and after you do the sketch you can tell if this is going to work, or you need to start from scratch and do something else. So I think that the process that we follow with KREA is a lot of sketching, which is in the shape of very bad UIs. But these bad UIs or these bad tools, they have some core ideas that we can very easily share with people like Boltron, and see if what it works, what it doesn't work, and how we get surprised about the way how creatives are using it in ways that we didn't even think that this technology could be used. And that, I think, that has been one of the core synergies between us, right? Like us being able to stay like 2 days with almost no sleep to get like something done, share it with Chavi, and Chavi saying, yeah, like this doesn't make sense, or I'm not able to do this, or I need to be able to change this thing, etc. And just like us going back to the lab, changing the things, and making it in a way that is more intuitive, and just like putting it in front of creatives and seeing in real time if this is something that is intuitive. Is this like the way how they are used to work? Does it match with the internal representations that they have of think? Is this like the way how they are thinking? Like, because sometimes it's interesting because under the hood things happen in a certain way from a technical point of view, that this technical way have nothing to do with the representation that is on the head of a creative. And making an interaction in a way that aligns with the representation of the creative, instead that how it actually works under the hood. There's a balance. Like you always need both in order to make it work. But being able to finding this balance, it's a lot about like, yeah, doing a lot of technical work and putting it in front of creative people that can tell you if this is actually how they are thinking of it or not. So
Yes, and
yeah.
also Victor and Diego were so nice in the way they were listening. I was proposing them to build a community, a super tiny community of creatives that already they were the foundation of what happened after all. And we hold now a big community of many professionals. And KREA, I will say, is not because I'm working there with the guys. KREA is one of the tools that literally listen the users, and we are trying to explore and adapt all the time. This is what I'm trying to say by my side. This is why it's so intuitive in terms of creativity. When you grab the interface, you get literally exactly what you how you need to do it and the way you can do it. So this is great compared to other AIs because you need to learn commands, actions, etc. It's not this complex in a way. So this is great in my humble opinion.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in into the session today. Vic, it was incredible that you were able to join us into the session. You know, like we have so much of the users from this platform, they come from the immersive design industry, and of course, like we're starting to use AI content into our immersive experiences and real time content, and it's been really interesting to hear about processes and about what's going to happen in the future as well with the tools. But
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you, Vic, one question that I did ask in Boltron. You know, besides this feature, as you see, as people just with specifically with KREA, that they are just kind of building worlds, not just images
Mm-hmm.
and videos. What is what is your vision for AI and art in the future?
So the way how I like to think about it, like I think that I think that the interaction with AI needs to be something that is familiar and it's something that it's not too different on how we do things today, but that it runs in a completely different engine, if that makes sense. So the way how I like to think about the future with AI, where you have like these environments that you can generate yourself, is something very similar to going for a walk with your camera and taking pictures of the wall, right? Like in the end, the process of going and taking some photography or some videos here, like right now I'm in San Francisco, just like I go there and I find like something super interesting and I take a snapshot of that. That's a curation process, right? I'm like in a way curating the city, in a way of like making pictures. And I think that that's very similar to how the process is going to be in the future when we are able to have entire worlds generated with AI. It's going to be something where you're not limited by the world that exists. I'm not limited by being in San Francisco and only being able to take pictures in San Francisco. I'm going to be able to change this environment in whatever way I want. I'm going to be able to change the position of the sun, the city, the buildings, the people. What are people doing? How do people look? How I'm going to be able to describe plenty of things, giving references of I like the vibe of I don't know of Breaking Bad. I like that like this lighting that they have. I want like a this caravan, but with a style that it looks more futuristic or stuff like that. Like it's more about like creating the environment, and once the environment is created, taking snapshots of this environment, like being able to generate like a whole video of like I don't know like a drone going from the sky and like going in circles around an element and getting like a clip that is fully realistic with that. So that's how I'm imagining. And again, I think that there's still a lot of technology to be developed in order for this to be possible. But and we still don't know what's exactly the models that will empower these kinds of engines. So I like to keep like a very open view on how the future will look like, but I think that that is like the natural way that we would like to interact with these things that are essentially like game engines or are like reality engines. These are things that can like fully reproduce how our world looks, how physics work, how light work, but in a completely different way than we are used to it, because you don't need to do this rendering, you don't need to do this kind of algorithmic processes. It's more about knowledge. It's more about like understanding. how things are, how things work, and that understanding allows you to change things in a semantic way, in a way that you can talk with this knowledge, and this knowledge can change things in a way that it's like fully, it's way more natural, so to say. It's like way more easy to use, if that makes sense.
Incredible. Thank you.
Uh,
I'm gonna jump into. Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'm sorry. Someone's asking about the interface, and I would like to do a super tiny fast demo, okay? Because this feature, the guys did this feature, it's amazing. Hold on. So someone's asking, oh, can you use Touch Designer? Can you do webcam, whatever? Yeah, you have here the screen to image or the webcam. I will say a screen to image. So what I will do is just click on Live Studio, which is us, okay? And what you do in KREA is like, this is the active window, and I can do a super zoom. So as you see, in this case, we are super tiny, but imagine that I can grab it. I'm having your face. Hold on. I'm going to try to do way bigger. You can do Photoshop. You can do anything you want here. Okay, this is multiplying. For example, a Lego, I don't know, a Lego zombie. Let's try this thing. Yes. So you see, well, in this case, the screen here of you is so tiny, but you can extend the screen literally in many ways. You can use Photoshop, you can use YouTube, you can use many stuff. You see, you can play with the strength, and when you find the proper strength for your camera, in this case I want a toy, things happen, so you can play a lot in real time. This case I will choose my camera, for example. You see, hello. And you can do Photoshop, you can do Touch Designer, you can do whatever you want. And you see, for example, you say this, I can grab it, I can drag this image, or I can do a lot of stuff. I don't know, you can play, no, this case no, hold on, I can play this. So you have at the end a result based on what I capture here. That's me. You can put here anything you want. In this case, you say share, but you say which window, which screen, which software, whatever you want. So this is the good thing, that you can apply literally to everything, to any software in real time. And
Yeah,
also you have enhancer, you have video, you have new tools that you can explore. You can do basic plan, free plan, pro plan, whatever you feel comfortable with. But people is so, let's call it, they support a lot this tool because they are having so much fun without headaches. Let's call it this way. You know.
yeah. Honestly, I didn't know that was capable of doing that. Because
Yes.
us as user
Real
of
time.
Touch Designer, we have to run our own models into Touch Designer, and then we pretty much
Hmm.
have the same result as it is working with KREA straightforward. It's incredible. And I have some
You can do
questions as
anything.
well. Yep.
Anything you can extend. Literally anything you can extend is super playful. That's it.
So I have a question here from Andrea Bucci. What are the implications of doing an AR drop piece while having an exclusive to a platform video function that was not open to everyone? I'm not sure if I understand. Do you? I don't understand quite.
You, you can make your user can be private or share, right, Victor? From what I know.
um, yeah, if you are in one of the plans, all the images are private by default.
And also another question is, um, do
People
you
is
offer beta
excited in the chat.
testing?
In the chat.
Do you offer Do you offer beta testing for
Yeah.
artists or curation deals on KREA?
Yes,
So we
I've been having the guys during these last years. to build the let's call it the community. And when the tool became successful, I received thousands of messages trying to apply to the, let's call it, artist program. We provide access when the new tool is working. For example, the real-time tool, when it appeared, everybody wanted to try the video tool, the enhanced video tool. So we have different plans and different accesses to people. We have different kind of grants. And Victor and Diego told me to care about this selection and take care of creatives, their careers, how they can apply KREA for their future, how they can be into the community. We care who's using the tool in our artist program, let's call it this way. I love to follow them and see what's going on. So I'm open to suggestions. That's it, Victor.
Yeah, I feel like right now Boltron is our artist program. Like essentially, he has like he has like some codes that he gives to people that he finds that he's like fascinated about, or that he thinks that is doing like very cool stuff with
Yeah.
this technology, and we give them like almost lifetime free access to everything.
Yes. And
And
also, I love to follow. I love to receive case studies, probably things to get the tool better. This is why I try to ask people. I'm pushy in the way that if we provide you this, we want feedback. That's it. This is how a community works. It's not a one single request and then you disappear. No, this is not the way. And I know what I'm doing right now with all these access.
Yeah,
You know?
I
And
I
it's
know
working.
there's
It's
a
working so much. It's working so much. People is amazing. So supportive.
I know very talented people who are here join us in this talk because I know their names, like Roy Geriston or the guys from Medusa Lab, or all of these guys that are joining the session here today.
Uh,
I'm pretty
Thanks
sure that,
everyone.
our program is going to be, like, maybe you should start making this kind of like a subdivision into the platform for our program into CREA.
Yes,
I'm pretty
yes.
sure
It
it'll be
took
a lot of
me
fun.
when they released the real time tool, this tool. It took me, I don't know, Victor, weeks. I talked literally to everyone who contacted me, and I selected people to go forward with the access and everything. And we had also other plans for people. Indeed, the tool it can be for free also. You can test it, and if you like it, you can subscribe. People is subscribing according to their needs, which is interesting. It's not related to, oh, we give you access. That's it. It's just the whole environment. How we love to build community. In my case, towards CREAS, as a project, and it's working so good. We have big names, people who's been in the industry for years, supporting us, and it's so rewarding, right, Victor? This is what I believe.
mhm.
This is what I believe.
Will it be there a desktop app or an API?
No plans, no plans. What you may be what you may expect is a mobile app. I think that like very soon we will have stuff like real time video to video, and I think that mobile app can lead to very interesting interactions with it. But so far, we are very focused on building everything on the website. That's like one of the pieces that makes KREA so accessible, that you just need to type a link and you are already in the tool. It comes with extra complexity from our side because making things efficient in the browser is not an easy task. But I think that, yeah, just like given like the what we win in terms of accessibility is the way to go. And in terms of API, a lot of people are asking for it, but right now I think that there are people that they are doing a much better job than. I mean, they are already doing only focusing on APIs, and they are doing a great job at it. So we are kind of more focused on the product interaction and these kind of things. Maybe at some point we open some of the APIs that we have, but right now it's not in the roadmap.
Yeah, and I also believe that the real time just with internet connection is working smooth and super efficient. People is so surprised with this. Being cloud service is problem solver for many people that has no graphic cards, or big computers, which is super interesting.
Mhm.
It's a tool that's literally accessible for many, many, many people, which is nice. People is so
Uh,
excited with the tool from what I see in the chat box.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna close this session because I want to be respectful with your time. And thank you so much for
Fine.
joining us from. I don't know where you are right now, Xavi. I know you pretty much
I
traveling.
left Lisbon to Barcelona to see my family because this next week, Victory is coming from San Francisco and Diego and all the Erwan
For
people from the
Sonar.
team. Yeah, we got a booth there. We did partner with them. We have a stand there in the project area. We will do a workshop also there. We're also talking Rain Festival in another university. We're doing some activities in Barcelona, and we're so happy to meet all together again with the community, with the guys, and everything is, it's as always wanted and planned. It's this is the power of community, which is super nice,
Yeah.
and we're excited. Crazy
Uh,
times next week. Let's see.
we're super happy because soon you're going to be in Mexico City, and I don't know, maybe we should plan something with Big Two for off in Mexico City. So for those guys who doesn't know much about off in Mexico City, Xavi Boltron is going to give a workshop, a KREA workshop. So will be great to have you here and to join us. We haven't announced yet that workshop. It's kind of like something that it's only for you guys for this chat. But if you want to check it out, the lineup and who's coming, artists and designers and everyone who's going to speak. And I'm going to close this session with a message from my friend. Let me just check out this message here. So yeah, so from Roy, I'm gonna close this session with this message from Roy from the chat. Thank you so much, guys. You made our days being so passionate. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here today, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope you liked the session, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for this chance. And let's keep creative. That's the only thing that will save us from everything. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.